Galvanized rigid metal conduit (RMC) is indeed an approved material for use as conduit running from a wet niche swimming pool light to a junction box, according to the National Electrical Code, specifically the 2005 edition in section 680.21 bone. This section stipulates that metal conduit must be approved and constructed of brass or other approved corrosion-resistant metal. Galvanized RMC meets this requirement due to its inherent resistance to corrosion. The primary reason galvanized RMC is suitable for this application lies in its zinc coating. This zinc coating acts as a protective barrier, shielding the underlying steel from the corrosive effects of chemicals commonly found in swimming pool water, such as chlorine and other sanitizing agents. This corrosion resistance is critical for ensuring the long-term integrity and safety of the electrical system associated with the pool lighting. In contrast, polyvinyl chloride, or PVC, conduit is not approved for use in this particular application. This is because PVC does not possess the same level of corrosion resistance as galvanized RMC. Exposure to chlorine and other pool chemicals can degrade PVC over time, potentially leading to cracks, leaks, and ultimately, electrical hazards. Therefore, the NEC specifically mandates the use of corrosion-resistant materials like galvanized RMC to mitigate these risks. When installing galvanized RMC for a swimming pool wet niche lighting circuit, it's important to adhere to all applicable electrical codes and safety standards. This includes properly grounding the conduit system to ensure electrical safety. The absence of a bonding lug inside the niche itself necessitates careful attention to grounding practices outside the niche. Proper grounding helps to minimize the risk of electric shock and ensures that any fault current is safely diverted back to the source. In addition to grounding, it's also crucial to select the appropriate size of conduit and conductors for the lighting circuit. The size of the conduit must be sufficient to accommodate the conductors and any necessary grounding wires, while the size of the conductors must be adequate to carry the electrical load of the light fixture. Refer to the NEC tables to determine the appropriate conduit and conductor sizes based on the amperage of the circuit and the type of insulation used in the conductors. Furthermore, it's essential to ensure that all connections within the conduit system are watertight. This can be achieved by using threaded fittings and applying a suitable sealant to prevent moisture from entering the conduit. Moisture ingress can lead to corrosion and electrical faults, so proper sealing is crucial for maintaining the integrity of the system. When cutting and threading galvanized RMC, it's important to use proper tools and techniques to avoid damaging the conduit. Use a pipe cutter designed for steel conduit to ensure a clean, square cut. When threading the conduit, use a pipe threading machine or hand tools with sharp dies to create clean, well-defined threads. Avoid using dull or worn-out dies, as they can damage the conduit and create weak or incomplete threads. After threading the conduit, apply a corrosion-resistant compound to the threads to further protect them from corrosion. This compound will also help to ensure a tight, watertight seal when the conduit is connected to fittings. When installing the conduit, be sure to support it properly to prevent sagging or damage. Use conduit hangers or straps to secure the conduit to the pool structure or surrounding surfaces. The spacing between supports should be in accordance with the NEC requirements to ensure that the conduit is adequately supported. When connecting the conduit to the wet niche and junction box, use appropriate fittings that are listed for use with galvanized RMC. Ensure that the fittings are properly tightened to create a secure, watertight connection. Avoid over-tightening the fittings, as this can damage the conduit or the fitting itself. Finally, after the conduit system is installed, thoroughly inspect it to ensure that all connections are tight, all supports are in place, and there are no signs of damage. Perform a ground test to verify that the conduit system is properly grounded. If any issues are found, correct them immediately to ensure the safety and reliability of the electrical system. Remember that working with electrical systems can be dangerous, so it's important to take all necessary safety precautions. Always energize the circuit before working on any electrical components. Wear appropriate personal protective equipment, such as safety glasses and gloves. If you're not comfortable working with electrical systems, it's best to hire a qualified electrician to perform the work. In summary, Galvanized RMC is an approved and suitable material for use as conduit in swimming pool wet niche lighting circuits due to its corrosion resistance. However, proper installation techniques and adherence to all applicable electrical codes and safety standards are essential for ensuring the safety and reliability of the system. Always consult the latest edition of the NEC and local electrical codes for specific requirements and guidelines. Remember, electrical codes can change, so staying updated is crucial. Using outdated information can lead to unsafe installations. In addition to the NEC, local jurisdictions may have their own specific requirements for swimming pool electrical installations. Be sure to check with your local building department or electrical inspector to determine if there are any additional requirements that must be met. When selecting galvanized RMC for a swimming pool application, it's important to choose a product that is specifically designed for this purpose. Look for galvanized RMC that is listed by a recognized testing laboratory such as Underwriters Laboratories or UL. This listing indicates that the product has been tested and found to meet certain safety and performance standards. It's also important to choose galvanized RMC that is of sufficient wall thickness to withstand the mechanical stresses of the installation. The wall thickness of the conduit is typically specified in terms of its schedule number. For swimming pool applications, it's generally recommended to use Schedule 40 galvanized RMC or higher. Schedule 40 RMC is a thicker wall than Schedule 20 or Schedule 30 RMC, which provides greater protection against damage. When installing galvanized RMC in a swimming pool environment, it's important to take steps to prevent galvanic corrosion. Galvanic corrosion occurs when two dissimilar metals are in contact in the presence of an electrolyte, such as pool water. This can cause one of the metals to corrode more rapidly than it would otherwise. To prevent galvanic corrosion, it's important to use compatible metals for all components of the conduit system. For example, use galvanized steel fittings with galvanized RMC. Avoid using copper or aluminum fittings in direct contact with galvanized steel, as this can lead to galvanic corrosion. If it's necessary to use dissimilar metals, isolate them from each other with a dielectric fitting or tape. A dielectric fitting is a fitting that is made of a non-conductive material, such as plastic, which prevents electrical contact between the two metals. Dielectric tape is a tape that is designed to insulate electrical connections and prevent galvanic corrosion. In addition to preventing galvanic corrosion, it's also important to protect the galvanized RMC from physical damage. Avoid running the conduit in areas where it is likely to be struck by objects or exposed to excessive wear and tear. If the conduit is exposed to potential damage, protect it with a physical barrier, such as a concrete pad or a metal shield. When backfilling around the conduit, use a non-corrosive material, such as sand or gravel. Avoid using soil or other materials that may contain corrosive elements. Periodically inspect the galvanized RMC conduit system for signs of corrosion or damage. If any problems are found, repair them promptly to prevent further deterioration. By following these guidelines, you can ensure that your galvanized RMC conduit system provides reliable and safe electrical service for your swimming pool wet niche lighting circuit for many years to come. Always consult with a qualified electrician if you have any questions or concerns about the installation or maintenance of your electrical system. They can provide expert advice and ensure that the work is done safely and in accordance with all applicable codes and regulations. Furthermore, understand that the specific requirements for swimming pool electrical installations can vary depending on the location. It is essential to consult with the local authority having jurisdiction, or OJ, to determine the specific requirements that apply in your area. The AHJ may have additional requirements that are not covered in the NEC, or they may interpret the NEC differently. By working closely with the AHJ, you can ensure that your swimming pool electrical installation meets all applicable requirements and is safe for use. The NEC is a comprehensive document that covers a wide range of electrical topics. It is important to familiarize yourself with the NEC and to understand the requirements that apply to your specific project. The NEC is updated every 3 years, so it is important to use the latest edition. The NEC is available for purchase from the National Fire Protection Association, or NFPA, and from other sources. In addition to the NEC, there are many other resources available that can help you with your swimming pool electrical installation. These resources include books, articles, and websites. You can also find helpful information from electrical contractors, electrical inspectors, and other professionals in the electrical industry. By taking the time to educate yourself about swimming pool electrical installations, you can ensure that your project is done safely and correctly. The goal is to provide a safe and enjoyable swimming pool environment for everyone.